We interrupt this groovy music by Sean Faust to welcome you to our first ever All the Horror episode. This week, we welcome writer Anne Fox, the author of The Cat That Caught the Canary and After Midnight, both available on barnesandnoble.com. You can get After Midnight right now for your Nook for less than $5 if you hurry. She's talking vaginas! But first, Pitney and I talk about TV horror, the Italian sort, represented by some films of Lucio Fulci, giallo master, and we reminisce about the amazing horror movies that used to be made for American TV. And then we go deep on Stephen King's It in the way that only we can. We hope you're checking out a lot of All the Horror shows this year. There are new ones every day in October. But don't forget, on October 20th, be sure to listen to One Giant Leap for Geeks, where we joined a hilarious panel to discuss the classic film Blackula. And now, on with the show. Pitney and Amelia's Bitchin' Boutique!
We may be awful, but we're right!
So I understand that you had a bit of a Fulci fest.
Yes, you know.
We should probably explain for the people. I mean, we know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But Italian horror being a whole special genre of horror.
Yes.
And Fulci being one of the big directors.
Yes. So I had a little, because, I've been less than happy the last week. So
it's been kind of a sucky period.
Yeah, I like to binge watch.
Well, yeah. Your schedule definitely allows you to do that.
And so coincidentally, I watched 3 Fulci movies. I didn't even pick them for being him. They were just the ones I was drawn to.
Okay.
In this huge folder of 90 movies.
Oh my god, that's gonna take a while.
Well, I downloaded them a long time ago, torrent.
Right.
It was look at all these Italian movies in one fiction. It must have been 70 gigs or something. It was a huge file.
Oh my god. Is Nude for Satan in there?
No.
Because that was my introduction to Italian horror, was Nuda por Satana, which I highly recommend to everyone.
Movie, yes.
God damn it. I mean, how could you not want to watch a movie called Nude for Satan?
But so 2 of them that I watched were actually made for TV in Italy.
Oh, I miss the days.
And it was really, really weird because they could have never shown these movies in America on TV, because there was some...
Were they really gory?
There was... one of them was really gory. One of them, it was so fucking weird and so crazy that I have to stop to tell you about it because you're going to laugh. It's so stupid.
Oh my god, I'm excited.
There was some gore at the beginning that they could not have shown on TV.
Right. How exciting.
So, the bad one is so fabulous.
Okay.
It is called Sweet House of Horrors.
I already love it.
And these obviously rich people are driving home in their Rolls or whatever it is. And
yes.
they get up to the villa.
Of course.
And the villa, as they arrive from their vacation, is being robbed.
Oh my god, okay, I love it.
And so the robber hides and they can start to go upstairs.
So they're not aware that...
Yeah, but then he drops a flower vase. And he has a mask over his face so they can't see him. So rather than just run, he decides to kill them both.
Okay. As you do.
So boom, and then we clip to the funeral. And it turns out that there's 2 children. And you know how much I hate children in film.
Okay, so they're young. Young children.
Yeah, let's say 10.
Okay.
8.
Yeah.
Somewhere. And there's something so hideous about Italian child actors to me that every child in any of these Italian films are so horrible. Like, anyway.
Like, beyond just that showbiz kid thing?
Oh, they're so... And then they're always dubbed into English so badly and so whiny.
Oh, God.
But anyway, so there were these kids.
whenever dubbing automatically changes a movie into how shitty the voice actors are.
But oh my God, so there's the kids, right? And they're at the funeral, and they're both chewing gum and blowing bubbles at their parents' funeral.
Okay, they need to die.
And then it's like, okay, that's really weird. And then it turns out that they're going with the aunt and uncle, but they're going to the villa.
Oh, they're still going to live in the villa where their parents were murdered?
They're going to live in the villa. But they want to sell the villa and have the kids move with them. And then all of a sudden, all this weird supernatural stuff's happening where clearly the house doesn't want itself to be sold, right?
Oh my God.
Which is pretty good and normal, but then
it's totally normal. I love it.
It's 70s and so fucking weird.
Oh my God.
Like, okay, so then all of a sudden there's 2 dancing flames.
Okay.
And the flames... Oh, by the way, even though the kids were blowing bubbles with bubble gum at the funeral, saying how hungry they were, apparently as soon as they get home, they're so grief-stricken and depressed that they can't handle it. So they're really awful. And they're also brats who harass people.
Oh, of course they are.
But anyway, so these dancing flames...
That goes without saying.
These dancing flames are about 4 inches high, dance up the stairs...
So just the flame, like not
just
like a candle or something.
Yeah, just the flame. Then they go under the kid's door. One gets in one kid's face, the other gets in the one kid's face. They're not freaked out. They're like, oh, look at that, Bobby. Oh, how beautiful.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Sally, do you see this fire? What is it, Sally? Oh, I hope it never goes away. Oh, it's going out. Please don't go away. Please. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
But then it turns out the flames are the parents. And they don't have the strength yet to fully materialize.
So all they could be is a little dancing.
Yeah, so then all of a sudden they materialize, and then they're there with the kids. And
oh, my God.
Then the aunt and uncle are freaked out because they can't see them, and they hire a medium, and the medium comes to drive the spirits out, but the spirits won't leave.
Because the spirits are the parents.
Yes. Okay. So then, but they try to leave, right? And they're dancing in their Suzuki Samurai.
Really?
Yes, and they're trying to leave.
Is it just like the one you used to have?
Yeah, it was, actually. And so they're driving, and all of a sudden they're stopped by fog. Right?
Like this big thick fog comes out of nowhere.
And they can't go forward anymore. And he's like, we have to get out of here. We have to get out of here. And the kids are screaming because they don't want to leave because they want to stay with their parents. And
oh my God.
But anyway, so he starts flooring the samurai, right? And it's not going anywhere. And then they show the outside of the car. And the car is like elevated in the middle of this bank of fog.
Okay.
With the wheels spinning.
Oh my God.
And it's just so cheesy and just so TV, 70s TV.
I love
terrible quality.
Oh, I love it.
It was so fabulous.
Oh my God.
It was so fabulous.
Oh my God.
I mean, shitty as all hell.
Oh God, yes.
But fabulous.
So what, oh my God, what ends up happening? Do they end up all living in the house forever?
They go back to the house. And then the medium goes back, and I knew you were going to try to do this. I will get rid of you, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, my God.
And did God do that? I don't even remember.
Oh, my God.
I don't think there's like these glowing red stones in the yard that I guess where the bloody rag was. Before the bodies got taken away and they were glowing and each kid put one in their pocket, so I guess the spirits weren't banished.
Oh, okay.
I don't really even remember. It was so nonsensical, I don't even remember, and I didn't even really understand the end.
And because you don't care what happens to the children.
Yeah.
It's like, because they can fucking die for all I care.
But yeah, Sweet House of Horrors.
Oh, God, that's wonderful.
other made-for-TV one that I
thought
watched.
Fulci was supposed to be really good.
Yeah, it was called House of Clocks.
Ooh, I already like it.
And that was good.
Ooh, because clocks are automatically creepy.
That was really good. It was like these old people are like the eccentrics, and they live in this big house, and there's like hundreds of clocks everywhere in the house.
Oh my god.
And I don't want to spoil this one because I want you to watch it.
Oh, I totally want to watch it. Oh my
Hundreds of
god.
spoils in the house, and there's dead bodies in the basement with a really weird explanation, and then robbers come.
Okay.
And then the robbers murder the old people.
Do Italian robbers just, are they really murderous, maybe?
But then the clocks start going backwards. And then the old people come alive, and then they kill the robbers. And then,
oh my god!
But while they're like stalking the robbers are trying to get away. They're outside, and of course, outside the house is a graveyard. And then for no reason, there's zombies.
Oh yay! Oh my god!
And then you go back in the house, and there's really, really weird things that go on.
Right.
Dealing with the cadavers, and then there's a secret twist at the end.
Ooh,
yeah,
I'm excited.
So, yeah, that one was really good.
And that one was also made for TV?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I watched another haunted house movie that was a Fulci.
Oh, yeah?
Also had a very annoying child in it named Bob.
Bob doesn't seem so very Italian to
Bob
me.
was this hideous thing with like a long, blonde He-Man haircut.
Like Little Lord Fauntleroy?
Big, ugly, red European lips. And I just wanted to slap him, and he was so annoying. It was like, Bob, where's Bob?
Oh, Jesus.
But that was a good haunted house movie, too. Really weird shit happened in a haunted house.
Oh, what was that one
called?
Ghost
of a little girl.
Okay.
That was coming, that it really, 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 really good.
Oh, my God.
And...
what was that one called?
Oh, God. The House by the Cemetery. Yeah, but it's good. And you got to see this one too because it's good and it's scary and it's creepy and there's crazy way the fuck over the top gore in it.
Oh my god!
Like crazy gore that you'll really like it because it's all real.
It's all practical. I love that shit.
God,
that's my favorite thing is like low budget practical gore effects. It's my favorite thing in the world.
Hardcore, this movie.
Oh my god. Fabulous. Well, that was one of the reasons why I was so excited at the very first Frightmare to meet Herschel Gordon Lewis because 2000 Maniacs is an amazing movie and it is disgusting. And it was made for like fucking nothing. I mean, what you can do with raw hamburger meat and some ketchup and a brown paper bag, I swear to God, people, this is why practical effects are the best. You can really freak people out with that.
Oh yeah, this movie is like
a little Caro syrup.
It's good, and we gotta watch it together though, so we can yell at the TV when every time Bob.
Oh God, yes, God, yes, Bob.
The Year of the Vagina.
You want to hear something scary?
Sure.
Vagina.
I'm not scared of vaginas.
Neither am I, but apparently people are.
Like Pitney?
Not like in a gay dude way, but in like a phobia way, like really scared, like phobia.
So there are people who have like panic attacks and stuff when they see a vagina?
See one, see a picture. Think about them. Yeah, even some women are scared of their own vagina.
God, as if women aren't under enough pressure.
It can really mess with your life. It could be way beyond fear of having sex. Like, it's bad enough. It can make them scared even to be around women. Like, they are so fucking scared of the vagina.
Ah, like Mike Pence. Got it.
Like most phobias. Urotrophobia, That's what it's called or something like that. You can look it up. Trust me, it's a real thing. Utrophobia is usually caused by some sort of like trauma. It could be treated with exposure. But like if you're phobic, if you're phobic and you're exposed to it, how do you really heal from it? You know, it's weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
It's a thing. It's a thing. No, I joke not. It's a thing.
And like exposure to vaginas, like I'm not scared of them, but I don't want them all exposed at me either.
Hypnotherapy apparently works for some people.
Oh, all right, Mr. Vice President, just keep your eyes on the swinging pocket pussy. You're getting sleepy.
Yeah, I really don't want to picture Mike Pence anywhere near a vagina.
Yeah, I think he doesn't want to be near one either.
Very white of him, yeah. The sad thing is that women are being freaked out by their own vaginas, and it's weirdly common. Like, we'll put the mirror down there and look at them and be like, ah! Heaven forbid we go to the gynecologist or OBGYN. Like, we want to know nothing about them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you know, actually, the first time I ever looked at mine was after I had an ablation when all my skin was burned off, and that was attractive.
The first time I heard about it was on Sex and the City when Charlotte said, "Put a mirror down there," and I did. And I listened to the TV. I looked at it, and I was like, oh, face hugger! Oh my God, Ripley would kill us! I was like, oh my God, I want to burn it.
And it would go.
An awful lot of women are convinced their junk is disgusting, when really anyone you let close to your crotch is going to be pretty appreciative you let them get there. Oh, boy.
And you know, really, vaginas, they're like snowflakes. They're all pretty and unique.
And fun to catch one on your tongue.
Hello!
Love it, darling.
So they made some fabulous stuff made for TV in the 70s.
I really, really miss, it's so weird because, I want to say that they don't have horror on TV anymore, but I guess that's because I don't consider Walking Dead to be horror. Maybe it was in the beginning, but I don't consider it to be anymore. But, because it's not scary. There's nothing scary about Walking Dead to me, but it's not like, what was the Kim Darby one with don't look in the basement, don't open the door, don't answer the phone. What was that?
Oh, God.
I feel like it was Don't Look in the Basement, but I don't know. Because that movie scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
Yeah, and I remember they used to show horror movies all the time on ABC, CBS, NBC. One of the others, it was like once a week or something they'd have a horror movie.
Oh my God. Yeah,
they was like made for TV horror movies.
Oh yeah, Salem's Lot is still one of my favorite things ever.
Yeah.
That was a 2-night event. Oh my, and of course we had to watch it in my house because my sister, not only was she very into Stephen King, because that was very early on in her getting into Stephen King. She became obsessed with Stephen King at that point. But because David Soul and Lance Kerwin, who was James at 15, who was very dreamy, and she had pictures of him on her wall. And she was also very into Starsky and Hutch. So we had to watch Salem's Lot. Mm-hmm. But, I had no idea. I was always, as a kid, watching shit like that I had no idea what I was watching. Yeah. And just being, scarred for life. It's amazing that I still like horror stuff now, considering how fucking traumatized I was.
Oh, I was when I was a kid. But, Race with the Devil, made for TV.
Oh, yes.
Satan's School for Girls, made for TV.
Oh, yeah. God, that was the ultimate TV movie.
There's YouTube channels that are all horror movies made for TV in the 70s.
Oh my God. Now, you know what's weird?
And there's a lot of them, and they're good.
They're really fantastic. Now, what's weird about, remember the one that was called Trilogy of Terror? There was like 3 short stories. Because I loved horror anthologies. Those things like The House That Dripped Blood, those kinds of things. But the thing that's weird about the Trilogy of Terror is I don't remember the other 2. The only one I remember is the one with the little doll, the little fetish, the Zuni fetish doll that comes to life and attacks Karen Black.
Yes.
It's everyone who was around back then who watched it on TV never fucking forgot it because they were fucking horrified. Because that thing is the scariest little doll fuck Chucky, okay? That Chucky is not even scary.
It's really weird.
That fucking thing in Trilogy of Terror is a million times scarier than Chucky.
God, I think I have that movie. I know I do.
Oh God, I'm sure you do.
I'm sure I do.
It's so great. But I honestly do not remember the other 2 parts.
I don't either, but now I'm going to have to go home and find it and watch it.
Yeah, my God.
Oh, and then this other one I watched was an American made-for-TV.
Yeah.
That starred Barbara Stanwyck in the 70s.
Oh my God.
And it was the house that would not die.
Oh wait, that sounds familiar. Oh my God, I'm having some visuals,
she
but I'm not
inherits
sure.
the house and takes her niece there to go live with her.
Oh my God.
And then weird things start happening because there's this weird thing about back during the Civil War.
Oh.
There was
like there was a battle there or something?
No, it wasn't the Civil War, it was before that. The War for Independence. That's how far back it goes.
Oh, so it was up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was like this weird murder where the father had murdered the daughter and the fiancé because they were going to expose him as being a British spy. And the ghost of the girl was trying to get released, and the ghost of the father was still there and agitated, and
my God!
And of course, like all 70s movie, there was a seance. There was possession by ghosts.
Always.
Weird door slammings it was fabulous.
Oh my God!
And I love like those old haunted house movies that they don't really seem to do much anymore.
Yeah, haunted house. That's a very specific kind of movie that I guess maybe Paranormal Activity and stuff is considered haunted house movie, but I have a hard time classifying those as the same way. It's not like Woman in Black was the old school. Yeah. I loved Woman in Black so much because it was so. It was everything I used to love about haunted house movies. It was perfect. Oh,
yeah, it's such a good movie.
Oh my God. And I don't go to theater to see horror movies very much because I know how I am. But I saw that in the theater. Not only that, but of course I'll go if it's like the first showing in the morning, so I have a whole day to survive and get over it, and just in case it traumatizes me. But I remember so much that the whole time I saw that movie, I was like doing breathing exercises. Because the atmosphere in that movie was so perfect and so scary that, like, I was, like, controlling my breathing because I was so afraid I was just going to go into, like, a panic attack.
Oh.
Because it was so perfectly creepy. I loved it so much.
Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Maddie.
Do you like horror movies?
I sure do.
Well, did you know that most horror movies are inspired by real-life horror?
Really? Like what?
Well, take The Shining, for instance. That's based on Stephen King's real-life addictions, or The Purge, which could be our country any minute now.
Oh, and The Strangers, which is based on a real-life murder. People should be talking about these things.
Hey, guys.
Oh, hey, Producer Michael.
Hi.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but somebody already is. It's you.
That's right. We are Friday the 13th, the podcast where we talk about horror in real life and horror in media, all from an LGBTQ perspective.
Because we gay, y'all.
We are proud members of the Legion Podcast Network, and we can be found on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, or wherever your favorite podcasts are found.
And follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Come along with us on this crazy journey, and as always,
get slayed.
I guess I could do that. So here we are in the future, on a completely different day from when we recorded that other stuff. But still, in a way, talking about horror on TV because we're going to talk about it.
Yes.
Now, we are going to confess to something that is going to shock you all. We haven't seen it. The TV one.
No, and in fact, I have had a copy of it for years.
And I only just found out tonight that my husband owns it on DVD, and I had no idea.
Which is weird because I'm such a Tim Curry fan.
Well, yeah, we both are.
But I've always had this irrational hatred of Stephen King.
Oh, well, now I don't have that.
So it's made me never want to see it because I think Stephen King is a mentally ill sicko.
Well, he is a little bit.
I used to think that. I'm different now. But I used to have this thing against him, and I don't know why.
And
but
back then, you weren't really into horror as much back then.
No.
Not to the level that you are now.
No.
But I can say honestly, because of the second part of the movie coming out recently, it may have been the Sci-Fi Channel was showing the miniseries again, and I thought, I should take advantage of this and watch it. It was already on for a bit, but I gotta say, I saw John Ritter, I immediately got sad, I didn't want to watch it anymore. And the first thing I thought was, oh my god, John Ritter, Harry Anderson, two people whose deaths I'm still not over.
Yeah.
You know, I probably should watch it before we, knock wood, before we lose Tim Curry, because I'll never be able to handle it then. But I can say this, because it's been out for so long, and footage from it is so readily available. I've probably seen half to 2/3 of Tim Curry's scenes, and I can honestly say, I don't find him scary. And that's all I've ever heard from people is how terrifying Tim Curry was in it, and I don't see how it's scary.
Yeah, maybe in context to see it all together, but yeah, I don't know, but I do want to see it now.
Sure.
So we'll have to watch it soon.
But I really, and I know this is sacrilegious, but I don't think that I could like it as much as I like these two movies.
Yeah.
Because I kind of love these two movies to an irrational level. I love them so goddamn much. I
like them. I enjoyed them.
You haven't seen them as much as I have, though.
I don't think I would never buy them. I'd never watch them over and over.
I already have. What can we say?
I really did enjoy them, but you can tell that they were written at a time when times were different. And I found, even though it's teenage boys...
That even though it's been updated, it's still, you can tell,
the dick joke's distasteful, and the wanking joke's distasteful, and the...
It amazes me that you find this kind of stuff so distasteful.
I just found all of it distasteful, but it is very accurate.
Oh, yeah.
As in the 80s,
Well, and teenage boys... Period, because boys are disgusting.
So gross. Yeah, but I just found a lot of it just very distasteful, but I figured that's the time that it was written,
Well,
and the time that it was set.
Well, and that's one of the things that the updating, because the book, the kids' time is in the 50s, and the adult time is in the 80s. So now the kids' time is in the 80s. And there's certain things about the updating that there are things that are iconic to it that I will say don't necessarily translate well to something that's more modern, such as little boys making paper boats and covering them in wax to make them go down the street in the rain.
Yeah, that's a really weird thing now.
I mean, this going down to the cellar to get the wax. None of us are of the age where we were children in the 50s.
Yeah.
None of us. I don't think any of us had parents that canned vegetables or fruits or made jam and shit. Why would anyone have wax?
I had aunts and uncles that did that. So,
but it's crazy. It's such a 50s thing. Also, having a little brother named Georgie is a very 50s thing. No kid in the 80s was called Georgie.
That's true.
Possibly a little girl might be called that,
Yeah.
but not a little boy. But other than that, and possibly the gay thing being your deep, dark secret was much more of a thing then than it would be now, because an adult admitting to being gay in the 80s was almost fucking unheard of, as we've discussed before, because what an utterly homophobic time it was.
Oh, yeah.
Although I did kind of like, when the kids' time was being set in the 80s, the hypochondria of Eddie brought in the whole, you can get AIDS blood in, and my mom knows a guy who got AIDS from touching a pole in the subway, or whatever,
Yeah.
That was so fucking 80s.
Oh, God, yes.
And I'm sure young people today just thought it was like, how could anyone ever say that? It's like, because it was the 80s! And that's what people believe. But I think, it does make me wonder if the adult Richie... Okay, we're fucking spoiling everything. We have to assume you people know about this story already. So the adult Richie, his deep, dark secret, even as an adult in modern times, being that he's gay... I mean, it's certainly still possible, but maybe it doesn't read the same.
No, that's definitely a product of...
I mean, he's in Hollywood, he's in show business.
Yeah.
Somebody knew he was gay. He blew someone
But
along
I
the way.
will say that it was hard for me to even sympathize with his struggle because I can so utterly disliked his character. And I really hated Eddie, too.
Right.
I liked the other characters.
Yeah.
That those two characters, just intensely disliked. I hated them as children, and I hated them as adults.
They definitely would have been people that we would not have had in our social circle. The other kids were much more the kind of kids we'd hang out with.
Oh, yeah, and Eddie with his goddamn inhaler.
He had asthma.
I know, but did he really?
Some people actually have asthma.
And what is it about a child with an inhaler that automatically makes me dislike them? I don't know.
Because of Verity Noslin.
Because of Verity Noslin.
And her imaginary asthma. One thing that I really like, and because I don't know the source material as well as a lot of other people do, I think Beverly is one of the coolest characters ever.
Oh, yeah, I like her a lot.
She is total dream girl, total girl that any guy would want to hang out with, that any guy would want to be his girlfriend. She's like the ultimate dream girl. Although I do have to say, I was distracted with the adult Beverly, because I don't know if I ever noticed before that Jessica Chastain was so booby. And I even asked my husband...
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
When they had to crawl through the narrow place in the cave, I literally had a thought, I don't know if her tits can fit through that hole. That I thought it was weird that she was able to fit through, considering how jugsy she is. Because I asked my husband, was it my imagination, or has she always been that booby? And he was like, I don't know, I've never really paid attention to her. Because obviously if she was jugsy, he would know.
Probably, yes.
I mean, this is my husband we're talking about. He enjoys the boobs. So, I don't know if I want to get into this thing yet. Do you want to talk about gay themes before I get into the theme of fear?
Oh, yeah. No, it's just because before we saw it today.
Yes, we watched part 1 this morning. Yeah. And then we ran to the theater and watched part 2.
Yeah, which I had seen part 1 in the theater.
But that was 2 years ago.
But yeah, and I didn't really remember the story.
Right.
But anyway, I had read all this stuff online, but the gays, they get all bent out of shape over everything. And I normally pay no fucking attention because it just makes me want to roll my eyes and tell them to shut the fuck up.
Sure.
But I'm like that with anybody that gets bent out of shape about things, pretty much.
Right.
But anyway... the gay bashing scene at the beginning was gratuitous and unnecessary, and it was just making homophobia happen, and it was just glorifying homophobia and blah, blah. You've read all that shit online.
Oh, yeah.
I
thought it was absolutely perfect myself.
All the shut the fuck up shit online that all these stupid young people who shouldn't have an opinion are spouting.
Right.
one, it's part of the source material.
Yes.
And I read an article about it, and Stephen King included it in his book based on a real-life crime that he was so outraged by.
Right.
And he included it as part of the horror of the book.
Right.
The theme being people are awful.
And that this town has this literal well of evil under it that awakens, and the normal awfulness of people becomes 1,000 times worse every 27 years. And so normal teenage dickheads become murderous teenage dickheads in this town.
So, I mean, of course, I thought it was disturbing, but it was supposed to be.
Absolutely.
And I found it accurate.
Right.
You know,
as someone who has knowledge of such things.
Yeah, and hopefully people saw it and they were like, oh my God, what dicks that are beating up these, this cute gay couple.
Oh my God, they were adorable.
But also they should have been like, oh wow, yeah, this shit really does happen. Make them think, which was the point.
Right.
It wasn't glorifying gay bashing.
And considering that the youngest of the young toughs that were beating up this couple, I swear to God, when that little person, I'm just gonna say person, walked up at first, I honestly thought it was a girl. I thought it was a really, really ugly girl.
I thought it was like some street urchin lesbian.
Exactly. And then when it turned into a gay bashing, I'm guessing boy? I don't know. It was like, gee, do this kid's friends, do they know that their little friend here looks like a little lesbian with her little lesbian haircut and her lesbian outfit?
Yeah, I was puzzled by that cast member. Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I'm sure he or she or they is a lovely person. They were obviously meant to be an evil little asshole. But I was very confused by how feminine looking the gay basher was.
But it was weird. It was like, I found it offensive and awful because it was supposed to be offensive and awful.
Right.
But not in the way that people online were bent out of shape about it.
Right. Are they upset because they think that doesn't happen? Are they upset because they think it might happen but it's not that bad? Well, I mean, I don't know why.
I kind of got the impression that
Are they mad because there wasn't a trigger warning?
If there was if there's any gay context, of course, some of these people nowadays, anything, it can't be anything less than showing a guy sucking a cock on screen or it's not gay enough.
Right.
And I think there's a part of that bullshit, too. Well, it should have been more overt. It should have been clearly stated when Richie was in love with Eddie, and it should have been some sort of blah, blah, blah. And I've read a lot of stuff like that, too, and it's like, why?
And it's like,
everybody knew what was going on,
right.
And it was clearly a work of fiction that was written at a time where that would have never been that way.
And also, they weren't teenagers today. They were teenagers either in the 50s or in the 80s.
Yes.
And either one of those times, there's no fucking way that kid would have come out to his friends.
Exactly.
No fucking way.
Exactly.
Although, I have to say, the last thing that Eddie said to Richie, when I first saw part 2, I was so glad that the movie got really loud very quickly after that, because I was laughing so hard when Eddie said, I fucked your mother.
Oh, yeah.
I laughed so
really?
That hit me so.
It was horribly distasteful.
See, I don't understand that at all.
I thought it was horribly distasteful. But
that is such. I'm losing the word. That is something about you that I will never understand. That you don't like dick jokes.
I know, but I generally don't like humor. I generally don't.
You don't like children.
Yes.
You don't like humor coming from children. You don't like. Oh my God! Yeah. Okay, so one thing I want to talk about. And I kind of mentioned this when I was talking about what I have seen from the TV series, and even though horror on TV can be just as scary as horror in the movies.
Oh, yeah.
And in the past, it certainly has been. I don't think that it was particularly scary. And I will say, I don't think that movies are all that scary either. I think there's a lot of startling, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with a good jump scare. They did it very well.
And there's good gore.
There's
here
good
and
gore.
there. And
you know, Eddie's broken arm really wigs me out.
Yeah.
But I will say that the thing that I love about it is that it's not so much that it's scary, it's that it's about fear. Mm-hmm. And horror is like the only genre that can play with that, but I think that this plays with it in a really interesting way. And it's not just the literal, okay, because the bad guy feeds on fear and whatever, but the fact that the things that people are afraid of, the legitimate things that people are afraid of, you know, each character has their own thing. Although, from what I understand, in the original, one of them's afraid of a Dracula, one of them's afraid of a Wolfman, one of them's afraid of a mummy, and it's like, and even like the mummy plays into the movies, and it comes out of fucking nowhere, and I don't understand it. The kid that's saying, or the adult that's saying you're just a mummy or whatever when they're trying to put him down and make him feel insignificant. It's like, but a mummy, that mummy never came up. What you were afraid of was the headless boy who chased you through the library.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like, they did such a good job of coming up with a good fear for all of them. I mean, obviously the hypochondriac was always a hypochondriac, but they made it different.
Yeah.
Oh, did you notice? Probably not, because I didn't notice till I heard it. The actress who plays Eddie's wife is the exact same actress that plays his mother.
Oh, really?
She's just not in the fat suit and the bad
wig.
wig.
That's perfect, too.
It makes, watching them back to back, it made it even, because I knew that, I found that out last night. So when I watched them today, I made a point of paying attention to her features and stuff. I mean, I could tell she was in a fat suit in the first one, because no one's fat is shaped like that, and her legs were way too skinny for her body. Anyway. But back to the fear thing. I liked the fact that the idea, even though it's not like overt necessarily, is that what you're afraid of is never going to be the thing that hurts you. The fact that you're afraid of it is the thing that's is ultimately the thing that's gonna do the damage to you. Like whether it's just, I mean, not everyone has an evil clown living in the sewer, so we would have damage done to us by, say, not participating in things because we're scared.
Yeah.
Not trying things because we're scared. When really, nothing's actually going to hurt us, but because anxiety and fear is such an asshole that way. And I like the idea, that sort of never quite outright saying, but it's definitely kind of in there. And one of the things that about the fear, and I'm just going to ask you this because I didn't say anything before, because my husband didn't get it. I made a comment about Beverly's fear, because, I mean, there was her creepy-ass father, but there was more than that. And I was commenting to my husband how I really liked the way they handled what her fear was, and then he didn't understand what I was saying. So I'm just going to ask you, apart from just her creepy-ass father, what do you think her fear was?
Oh, God.
Because I looked online, and I find that women are the only ones, for the most part, that instantly get what she's afraid of.
I don't know, like not recognizing love or something?
No. Okay, so
know.
Every time somebody had an encounter with Pennywise, like the kid saw the leper and it was Pennywise. Or, the other kid saw the headless boy or whatever.
Yeah.
And like Mike saw the burnt hand sticking out the door. She got her bathroom covered in blood. She had a shower of blood. Is that a hint?
Oh, because she was freaking out over buying those tampons.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Because being a girl at that age, when you're first having to deal with your period, when fucking disgusting men, even though you're 12, are looking at you and practically licking their lips right in your fucking face because men are disgusting. And maybe it's just me, because when I was that age, I had a goddamn reputation for being a slut, even though I wasn't even going to kiss a boy till I was 16.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, all you have to do is be a young girl sprouting boobs for the first time, and the whole world becomes this terrifying, gross, ooh, I don't want to be a woman. Ooh, I don't want any of this because it's gross. And it doesn't mean you don't like boys or whatever, because you still have all that, but it's like, ooh, I don't want any of this. And of course oh God, her father. What excellent casting. What an amazing performance. That guy, oh God, when he sniffed her hair. Oh God, there's nothing gross than someone sniffing someone's hair. Don't you think? That's about as creepy as anything
I mean, if it's not like in a romantic encounter, you know.
But even in a romantic encounter, it's like, if you're going to smell someone's hair, you shouldn't go,
oh, yeah.
You need to be subtle with that shit, because they'll know and then they'll run away.
Yep.
But oh my God, but I mean, it was part of what made her so wonderful. But I did like, and I think I read somewhere that how much time and care the boys took cleaning up her bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
That must have been, that was like a choice the director made to not make that 2 seconds and then we move on.
Yeah.
Because it represented this group of boys, like, treating her like an equal, believing what she says, and not just being dicks like, well, that's your problem, or ooh, that's girl stuff, or whatever.
Yeah,
they obviously thought it was
yeah.
gross because it was a bathroom completely covered floor to ceiling with blood.
Yeah.
My God. That was a serious amount of blood. Oh, so gross. It's so gross.
So yeah, that had to have been. Although the only thing I have to add about her, I wonder, even though it was, obviously she thought and fantasized that her love poem was from the other character.
Was from Bill.
From Bill. Because she had a crush on Bill anyway.
Right.
I wonder, had Ben not lost all that weight...
Oh, I've thought that too.
There is no way in hell she would have been kissing him and ended up with him at the end if he was still fat.
Right. If he didn't have... because didn't you love... So when Pennywise is carving the home at last in his stomach, and then she breaks the mirror and then it's gone, and he pulls up his shirt, total six-pack.
Oh, I know. Like, that would ever happen in real life.
Total six-pack that no one in real life actually has.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, oh, nice CGI six-pack.
But there is no way that she would have gone for him.
If he was John
still
Goodman...
fat. Yeah.
If Eric Stonestreet from Modern Family
was
playing grown-up Ben...
Yeah, even knowing that poem was from him...
And that it was the ultimate romantic thing that's ever happened to her in her life. But
she still would have been, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just not attracted to you. I'm sorry you feel that way, but you're my friend and I want to fuck Bill.
Yeah, I'm going to fuck Bill anyway. Right. And that is one of the things that, even though... That is an issue, that even though we're supposed to feel sympathetic for little fat Ben, we're also still simultaneously supposed to laugh at Eddie's fat mom. And I think some of that... I mean, it's one thing for a teenage boy to be a dick about his friend's mom, but it continued well into adulthood with, oh, you have a fat mom and a fat wife. Oh, ha, 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 how dare you marry a fat woman. Hello. But still, a lot of that obviously would have been in the source material.
Yeah, and it was very much of the time that it was written.
Right.
And
if he wrote the book today... Well, and there is also something that was in the book that I'm going to assume you don't know about, because no adaptation has ever included this, because, oh my God, they never would.
What?
When they're still in the sewer, when they're kids, there's apparently this moment where as a bonding thing, Beverly fucks every single one of the boys. Even though they're 12.
In the book.
In the book. It's like an orgy in the sewer.
Wow.
And even Stephen King is like, look, I don't know. He's like, I wouldn't have written that now. Of course not. It was, I mean, I've read some little snips of interviews and stuff with him about that going, look, it seemed like a thing at the time.
Yeah.
But what's weird is that I didn't hear about it until very recently, and considering that one of my sisters is an enormous Stephen King fan, and it, by far, is her favorite Stephen King book, she has never mentioned it. That never came up.
It just never occurred to her that it was just
that it was horrifying.
Yeah.
That it's disgusting and horrifying because they're children. I mean, even just because some of them were going through puberty, doesn't little Stanley with his cracking little voice.
But again, it was the times. It was that they were written in.
But that's so gross because the whole point of Beverly, I thought, was. Yes, there's rumors about her, but she's not the dirty girl that everyone thinks she is. But then she allegedly fucks all her friends in the sewer.
See, that doesn't even make any sense.
I mean, when I was in high school and all of my friends were boys, there were people who assumed I was fucking all my friends.
And they knew you weren't.
I'm just whispering someone who thought I was. Who probably to this day still thinks that was true.
They know, but all those people that call, they call people sluts and stuff, they know that that's not real. I think that they know it's not real and that they're just being terrible.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, part of what solidified my reputation back in the day was when people found out that I went to Rocky Horror. Now, granted, I was still 13.
Oh.
But you can't go to Rocky Horror and not be just blowing every guy there, apparently. I mean, you did, but that's beside the point.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoy our show, please take a moment to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts or Stitcher.
If you send us a screenshot of your review, we'll send you a Bitchin' Boutique sticker.
Everyone loves stickers! Please subscribe or add us to your favorites wherever you get your podcasts.
Subscribers get new episodes first and are also more attractive.
Drop us a line anytime at pitneyandamelia@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you!
Ooh, what's that?
Look at what I just brought up on my phone. Pictures of Bob.
Oh, look at his stupid face. Oh my god. What is with that hair? I mean, even for the 70s or early 80s or whatever.
Look.
Oh god.
Is awful.
Ugh.
Don't you want to just slap him?
Oh, he really, he needs... I especially like the one where someone's pushing his head down. That picture's great.
But anyway, I thought you'd get a kick out of that. It's weird that you could look up a character from some ancient movie that nobody cares about, and all these pictures will come up.
I wonder if everyone hates Bob.
Oh, I hope so.
Oh my